Hello students, in continuity of chapter 4 Animal Kingdom, today we are going to discuss about phylum Chordata in detail. In previous lectures of same chapter, you have studied about phylum Porifera to Echinodermata. Actually this all phylum they belong to non-chordates animal, and then we are moving to further phylum Chordata. Actually they are having chordate animals. So one by one we are moving from primitive organisms, primitive characteristics to advanced or higher features of animal kingdom. Phylum Chordata, they are fundamentally characterized by the presence of notochord. That's why they are known as chordata. They are having a dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits that we will study in detail in further figure also. If you remember about the structure of notochord, we have already studied in same chapter. Actually what is notochord? Notochord, that is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord, they are known as chordates, which we are going to study in detail from phylum Chordata, and those animals which do not possess or form this structure, they all are called non-chordates. They are actually from phylum Porifera to Echinodermata. So this way the basic difference between non-chordates and chordates, that is absence or presence of notochord. Those who persist notochord, they are actually higher organisms and higher animals, and from phylum Porifera to Echinodermata, they are known as non-chordate animals. Some features of chordata: they are having bilateral symmetrical, triploblastic coelomate with organ system level of organization. It means that their body can be divided to equally halves, right and left. They are having 3 germinal layers, that's why triploblastic. Body cavity coelom is present, that's why coelomate, and well developed organ system is there, that's why organ system level of organization they possess. One of the important feature of this phylum Chordata, these organisms they possess a post-anal tail. It means that the tail-like structure is present at the site that is post-anal. That's why it is known as post-anal tail, and that is particular character of this phylum Chordata. And they are having closed circulatory system, which is also a advanced feature of organism. In this figure, that is the figure of one chordate animal organization which show chordata characteristics. In this organization, you can see the presence of nerve cord. Notochord is clearly observed, that is rod-like, rod-shaped structure, and it is rod-like structure from the dorsal side during the embryonic development. That is particular feature of chordata. As a feature of chordates, they also possess post-anal tail, that is clearly observed in this figure also, as well as they possess gill slits. So by studying this figure, we can come to know about the fundamental features or characteristics of this phylum Chordata, like nerve cord, notochord, post-anal tail, and gill slits. Now let's compare with chordates and non-chordates animal. We can say it's a one type of comparison as well as differences between chordates and non-chordate animal. First point, that is notochord. As you know, in chordates notochord is present, but in non-chordate animal it is absent. Second, in chordate animal central nervous system is dorsal, hollow and single, but in non-chordates same system means central nervous system is ventral, solid and double. It is the difference between central nervous system of chordates and non-chordates. Then third point, in chordates pharynx perforated by gill slits. There is a feature of actually aquatic animal presence of gill slits. In non-chordate animals these gill slits are absent. Fourth point is related with heart. The position or location of heart in chordates, that is ventral position, but in non-chordates heart is generally absent, and in animals non-chordates where heart is present it is dorsal. So in chordates heart is ventral, and if in non-chordates it is present it is dorsal heart. Fifth point, it is regarding post-anal tail. This post-anal tail or post-anal part is present in chordates, but in non-chordates this post-anal tail or part is absent. So by comparing these 5 type of features points, we can easily understand that what is the difference between chordates and non-chordate animal, especially regarding the notochord, central nervous system, gill slits, heart and post-anal part or tail. Some features of phylum Chordata. If we classify the phylum Chordata for our study conveniency, they are divided into 3 subphyla. Which are these 3 subphyla? First is Urochordata, or they are also known as Tunicata. Second, Cephalochordata, and third, Vertebrata. So according to features of or characteristics of these organisms, actually they are classified into 3 subphylum. So phylum Chordata is having 3 subphylum like Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata, they are often referred as Protochordata. Now we can understand what is the meaning of Protochordata. Actually they are animals belong to this phylum Chordata. They are chordata actually, but they are primitive of chordate animals. That's why proto word is used here. So they are known as protochordate animal, and their habitat is marine. So they are exclusive marine animals. In Urochordata organisms, animals, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persist throughout their life. It means that we can understand they all possess notochord, but some features are different here. It is like that Urochordata notochord is present but only during larval tail stage. In Cephalochordata notochord is present which extends from head to tail region and is persist throughout their life. That is the basic difference between this subphylum of Chordata. Some examples: in Urochordata animals are Ascidia, Salpa, Dolium. In Cephalochordata animals they are Branchiostoma and Amphioxus or Lanceolate. They are animals belong to Cephalochordata subphylum. In this figure you can see organism or animal Ascidia. In this structure you can see this chordata, which are actually protochordate animal. They possess this type of body structure or body feature. Okay. They possess mouth like structure, then middle part of the body, and post-anal part or post-anal tail like region is present here. So this is Acidia showing typical structure of Protochordata animal. Subphylum Vertebrata. Members of this subphylum, it means vertebrata, they possess notochord during embryonic development. After embryonic development, this structure, that means notochord, is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult, and that is typical structure of vertebrata animal. So different than Protochordata. In vertebrate animals, notochord is present during embryonic period, but during adult stage, actually this notochord is replaced by vertebral column, maybe cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. Cartilaginous means soft bone like structure, and it is bony also, that is typical bone like structure. So a special feature of this vertebrata, that notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Important statement is here that all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrate. Can you assume why it is so? That is, all vertebrates, they are actually chordates, but vice versa, all chordates are not vertebrate, because chordates possess notochord, but when it is not replaced by vertebral column, that time they are not actually known as vertebrates, they are non-vertebrates. That's why this statement is very important here. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates, they have ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. So this typical structure of heart is observed in these animals. They are having 2, 3 or 4 chamber structure. Kidneys are present for excretion and osmoregulation function, and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. So these are features of vertebrata animal. They are having heart with 2, 3 or 4 chamber. Yes, they are having excretory unit, kidney. This organ is present, excretory organ, for function of excretion and osmoregulation in their body, and for locomotion and movement they are having paired appendages. They may be fins during aquatic life in animals, those are having aquatic habitat, and for terrestrial animal it may be limbs also. This subphylum, means vertebrata, is further divided according to some characteristics or features of animals. This vertebrata subphylum, it is divided into mainly two divisions. First is Agnatha and second is Gnathostomata. The main difference between Agnatha and Gnathostomata, that Agnatha animals, they lack jaws. They do not have jaw-like structure surrounding their mouth, but in Gnathostomata animals, jaws present. Agnatha again classified in one class, that is Cyclostomata. These Cyclostomata animals, they are having circular mouth. Gnathostomata, it is divided into two super classes. First is Pisces, which bear fins. You can say all fishes are included here in this super class, that is Pisces of Gnathostomata. And second, that is second super class, Tetrapoda. Tetrapoda means they are having 4 limbs. They bear limbs, but they are having 2 paired limbs. It means that one pair, generally it is 4 limb, and one pair hind limb. So tetra, 4, they are having 4 limbs or 2 pair of limbs. Superclass Pisces is divided into 2 classes. First, Chondrichthyes, and second is Osteichthyes. Tetrapoda, these animals are divided into 4 classes. First, amphibia, second reptilia, third aves, and fourth mammals. So this way again subphylum Vertebrata is divided into main two divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha is having only one class, that is Cyclostomata. Gnathostomata again divided into two superclass, Pisces and Tetrapoda. Superclass Pisces having two classes, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Superclass Tetrapoda, it is having four classes like amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. Now these all classes we are going to study in detail. First, class Cyclostomata. All living members of this class means Cyclostomata, they are ectoparasites on some fishes. Here the term is important, ectoparasites. Parasites means those who survive on host for their food and nutrition requirement, and ecto means outside of the body. So this way they survive on the body of host, outside of the body, and then fulfill the requirement of food and nutrients from the body of host, and generally these hosts are here fishes. They are having an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. In aquatic animals, generally for respiration purpose, gills and gill slits are present, that is typical structure here, and they are having 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits. Their mouth is sucking and circular without jaws. As the feature of Agnatha animals, they are jawless animals, so jaw is not present here, and mouth shape is circular, that's why Cyclostomata, and it's a sucking because they are parasites, so from the body of host they suck their food, that's why mouth is sucking here. Here body devoid of scales, which means no scales are present, and they are having paired fins. Their cranium and vertebral column, they are cartilaginous. It means their soft bone like structure, not bony. The circulatory system is closed type of circulation is observed in the body of Cyclostomata animals. These animals are marine, but very interesting point is that they migrate for spawning to fresh water. Generally their habitat is marine, they survive throughout life in sea, okay, but for specially migrate for spawning to fresh water, and after spawning within a few days they die. So this is important point regarding these animals. The larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean. Some examples of this class were Petromyzon, also known as lamprey, and next sign it is hagfish. In this figure you can see one of this animal, that is Petromyzon. Here you can see the mouth structure, circular and sucking type of mouth. Gill slits are present, fins are present, and you can also see here post-anal part. So by studying this figure we can come to know about typical characteristics and body structure of this class. Second, class Chondrichthyes. They are also marine animals with streamlined body and having cartilaginous endoskeleton. It means that they are having endoskeleton which is made up of soft bone like structure, not typical bone solid structure is observed, and that is known as cartilaginous endoskeleton. Their mouth location is ventral location. Here notochord is present and it persists throughout life. Gill slits, they are separate and without operculum. Actually, operculum is a lead-like structure. It's a covering of gill, but here these animals, they are not having operculum structure. Their skin is tough, containing minute placoid scales. So here type of scale is placoid. The teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. Here they are having jawed animals, so jaws are present, and these jaws are very powerful in their body structure. These animals are predaceous. They are lacking of air bladder. Air bladder is not present here, and they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. So, by lacking of this air bladder in their body structure, for specially they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Their heart is two-chambered. It means that one auricle and one ventricle structure is observed in heart. Some of these animals, they are having electric organs, especially in torpedo, and some of these animals, they possess poison sting, especially in trigon animals. This is observed. So these are specialized or modified organs in their body. Sometimes for protection purpose it also useful. These animals are cold-blooded animals. They are also known as poikilothermous animals. These animals, their special feature is that they do not have capacity to regulate their body temperature. So according to outer or external temperature, they can't regulate their body temperature. Here sexes are separate like male and female, and in males pelvic fins bear claspers. It is useful for fertilization process. These animals, they are having internal fertilization. It means that it takes place inside of their body, and many of these animals, they are viviparous animals. Some examples of these animals: Scoliodon, it is also known as dogfish; Pristis, sawfish; Carcharodon, it is also known as great white shark; and Trigon, it is also known as stingray. By studying this figure, we can compare with these animals, that is class Cyclostomata, and second is a cartilaginous species. We have already studied the jawless vertebrate, that is Petromyzon. It shows the typical structure like circular and sucking mouth. Gill slits are present. They do possess fins as well as post-anal part. In figure number 4.19, these are some example of cartilaginous fishes. Figure A is Scoliodon fish and B is Pristis. In this figure, their body structure is clearly observed. The location of mouth in their body, streamlined body is observed. Fins they possess in the body structure. Then scales are there. Okay. So this way, by studying this figure, you can come to know about the morphology or especially body structure of this type of cartilaginous fishes. Third, class Osteichthyes. This class is actually include both marine and freshwater type fishes with bony endoskelet. In previous class, they were possess cartilaginous endoskeleton, but here this class organisms or animals, they possess bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined. Mouth is mostly terminal. They possess 4 pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum. It means gill covering or lid-like structure is present on each side. The skin is covered by scales, and the type of these scales are cycloid or ctenoid scales. Here air bladder is present which regulate buoyancy. So it provides floating or swimming facility to these animals. They possess heart which is two chamber. One is auricle and one is ventricle here. These animals are cold-blooded animals. It means that they do not maintain their body temperature according to external temperature. They are also having separate sexes like male and female. Fertilization is generally external here. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct in these animals. Some of these examples of animals, those animals from same class which are marine, they are Exocetus or flying fish and Hippocampus, that is sea horse. Second, which are freshwater, they are Labio or Rohu, Cutla and Clarius. And some of these animals, they are aquarium animals, that is Betta or fighting fish and Pterophyllum, it is also known as angel fish. So this all type of fishes, they are included in same class. This figure, these are two examples of bony fish. First is Hippocampus and second is Cutla. Both are showing typical features or structure of fishes. The Hippocampus, it is body shape is horse-like, that's why it is also known as sea horse. And Cutla, which is having typical fish structure. So this kind of animals which belong to same class, they are having bony endoskeleton, that's why commonly they are known as bony fishes, and by studying this figure we can exactly come to know about their body, organization of their mouth, presence or absence of the scale surrounding body, fins, okay, and post anal part in the body.